Welcome to Daily English Podcast 2.0.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Daily English Podcast 2.0. If you are someone who wants to learn English naturally simply by listening to stories, then you are in the right place.
I am Emily.
I am Asher. Our channel is designed for beginners and learners who want to improve their English step by step every single day.
Here, you will listen to inspiring stories, real-life journeys, and meaningful experiences, all told in simple, clear English.
So just relax, sit back, and let your English grow as you listen.
Today's episode is a powerful and emotional story. This is...
The journey of a village boy who became a scientist.
Come on, friends. Now let's learn English along with the story. So without further ado, let's start the main video. The journey of a village boy who became a scientist.
Our story begins in a small, quiet village surrounded by golden rice fields and tall bamboo trees. In this village lived a young boy named Aaron. He was not rich, he did not have many books, and sometimes his family struggled even to buy candles for light at night. But Aaron had something that nobody could buy: an unshakable curiosity.
Aaron wanted to know everything. He would look at the sky and wonder, why do the stars look like tiny lamps? He would touch the soil and ask, how can these small seeds become big plants? People often told him, Aaron, you're just a village boy. Big dreams are not for people like us. But Aaron never believed them. The life-changing incident.
One night, when Aaron was about 11 years old, a massive storm hit the village. The wind was roaring, trees were shaking violently, and lightning flashed again and again in the sky. Most villagers hid inside their homes, but Aaron stood near the small window and watched the storm with wide eyes.
Suddenly, he saw a giant flash of light strike a tree in front of his house. The tree caught fire instantly. It was the first time Aaron had ever seen lightning so closely. Instead of fear, something else woke inside him. A spark, a question, a dream. He whispered to himself, what is lightning? How can light fall from the sky? How powerful is nature? That night, when everyone was afraid, Aaron felt inspired. He realized that the world was full of mysteries, and he wanted to uncover them.
The beginning of a dream. Aaron started borrowing old science books from his school library. Some pages were torn, some words were difficult, but he kept reading. Every night he studied under a kerosene lamp. The yellow light was weak, the smoke made his eyes burn, but his heart was strong. His mother would often say, "Aaron, go to sleep, your health will suffer." But Aaron replied, "Ma, one day this learning will help me change our life." His father didn't fully understand science, but he understood passion. So he bought Aaron a small second-hand notebook. It became Aaron's treasure. He filled the notebook with questions, drawings, and small experiments.
The first failure and the first success.
One day, Aaron tried to build a small battery using copper wires, a coin, and potatoes. The first time he tried, nothing happened. The second time, still no result. His classmates laughed at him. But Aaron kept trying, again, and again, and again. Finally, on the 7th attempt, the tiny bulb in his hand lit up for half a second. It was small, but to Aaron, it felt like the sun. He shouted, "I did it!" That day, Aaron learned an important truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success.
The long journey begins. Years passed. Aron grew older, wiser, and more confident. He earned a scholarship to study at a university in the city. For the first time, he left his village. It was not easy. The city was loud. The classrooms were full of students who spoke better English, had better books, and lived better lives. But Aron had something they didn't: fire in his heart. He worked part-time in restaurants, cleaned tables, washed dishes, and saved money to buy science tools. He studied late at night when everyone slept. He never forgot his village, his parents, or the night of the great storm.
The rise of a scientist. After years of hard work, Aron finally became a scientist in the field of renewable energy. His research on lightning and natural electricity became world famous. News channels interviewed him, universities invited him for lectures. His village celebrated him as a hero. One day, standing in front of a group of young students, Aron said, "I was once a simple village boy. If I can become a scientist, you can become anything you dream of." And that became the message of his life.
In a small mountain village lived a young girl named Mira. The village was beautiful, surrounded by blue hills, cold rivers, and endless forests. But life there was not easy. Most families were poor. Children walked long distances to school, and at night, the entire village became dark because there was no proper electricity. Mira was only 12 years old, but she dreamed bigger than the mountains around her. She was smart, hardworking, and always full of hope. But her family struggled. Her father worked as a woodcutter in the forest. Her mother sold vegetables in the local market. Sometimes there was money for Mira's books. Sometimes there wasn't. But Mira never complained. The promise that changed everything. One winter evening, Mira's father came home looking sad and tired. He said quietly, "Mira, I might not be able to send you to school next month. Work is slow, and we need money for food first." Mira felt her heart break. School was her favorite place. Learning was her passion. And her dream? To one day build something that would bring light to her dark village. But instead of crying, Mira gently held her father's hand and said, "Baba, one day I will study so hard that I will change our life. I promise." Her father looked into her eyes. In that moment, he saw not just a child, but a future. Mira made a plan. Every morning, she helped her mother carry vegetables to the market. Then, she cleaned the house, fetched water, and took care of her younger brother. Only after finishing all the work, she went to school, sometimes late, sometimes tired, but always ready to learn.
And at night, when everyone was asleep, she studied under a tiny oil lamp. The flame was small, but her dream was bigger than any fire. She read old science books that her teacher gave her. Some books had missing pages, some were difficult to understand, but she kept reading. She wanted to learn how to create electricity for her village. One day, her science teacher announced a national competition. Students had to create a model that could help their community. Everyone started building big, colorful projects. But Mira had no materials, no expensive tools. All she had was knowledge and a dream. So, she collected small pieces of metal, wires from broken radios, magnets from old toys, and plastic bottles. For many days, she worked quietly behind her house. People laughed at her. Mira What can you build with garbage? You're just a poor girl." But she continued. And finally, she built a simple water-powered generator. When she connected a small bulb to it, the bulb glowed. Not too bright, just a soft, warm light. But that light was enough to change her story forever.
Thank you for listening to today's inspiring episode on Daily English Podcast 2.0.
If you want more stories that help you learn English through listening, make sure to follow and stay connected. See you in the next story.